Here's our much awaited Surya Namaskar tutorial that you have all been requesting for a very long time. So let's get started. We'll start with the regular rhythm and then we'll get into corrections. So stand on the top of your mat, stand in Samasthiti, straight chin parallel to the floor. Inhale, exhale, prayer position. Inhale and take your arms up towards the sky and arch back. Exhale all the way down, your palms in line with your toes. Drop your head. Inhale your right leg as far back as possible. Drop your knee, point your toe, look up. Tuck your toe, hold your breath, other leg back, plank position. Exhale, drop your knees, chest between your palms and forehead down. Inhale, slide forward, head up, chest up. Exhale, tuck your toes, inverted V. Inhale, right leg between your palms, look up. Exhale, the other leg forward between your palms, drop your head. Inhale all the way up towards the sky and arch back. Exhale down. The other side, inhale, exhale, prayer position. Inhale all the way up towards the sky and arch back. Exhale all the way forward and down, your palms in line with your feet, head between your knees. Inhale, left leg as far back as possible, point your toes, drop your knee, look up. In your breath, the other leg back, plank position. Exhale, drop your knees, chest between your palms and forehead down. Inhale, slide forward, head up, chest up, look up. Tuck your toes, exhale, inverted V. Inhale, your left leg forward between your palms, look up, point your toes. Exhale, the other leg forward between your palms. Inhale all the way forward and up, arch back. Exhale, release. That's one round. Now let's get into corrections. So you start with standing on the top of your mat. You put your one foot in front of the other, and that's how you measure the distance from the top of the mat. Then both your feet parallel to each other, Samasthiti, your fingers stretched out, pointing towards the ground, your chin parallel to the floor. You roll your shoulders towards the back to keep your shoulders relaxed, your spine in neutral position. Inhale, exhale, prayer position. Now inhale, stretch your arms towards the sky, feel as if you're reaching towards the sky, and then arch back, bringing your hips forward and opening your chest. Remember that your arm should be in line with your ears should not be visible. Now if you don't understand how to arch back, then just imagine your hips going forward, and that's how you arch back, making kind of a C from the back of your body. If you're unable to arch your back, you can simply stand here, reaching your fingers towards the sky and looking up. That's just as fine. Now as you exhale, you bend all the way forward and down. Now here just imagine that somebody is pulling you from the front, and that's how you're going to the front and then all the way down. Here when you reach on the ground, your toes and fingers should be in line. If you're not reaching the ground with your palms, then just fingertips is just as fine. Don't curl your back here. Make sure that your back is straight. You can micro bend your knees if required, and you can also try touching your upper body to your quads and then drop your head down. Now from wherever you reach, place your palms firmly on the ground, and then you inhale and take your right leg as far back as possible till your front knee is stacked just above your ankle. You drop your knee, you point your toe, and then you look up. Now don't try to curl your back here. Make sure it's straight by pushing your hips towards the ground. You can do a pulsing movement here to give stretch to your quads. Now let's say that your knee is not stacked above your ankle and it looks something like this. Then you tuck your back toe, lift yourself a little higher and take yourself back. And then drop your knee when your front knee is stacked above your ankle. Now let's say that it's a little difficult for you to lift yourself higher and then take yourself back, and you're here in this position. Then just simply lift yourself a little higher, keeping your back knee on the mat. And this is just as fine. So for now, let's say that you are in this ideal position, and from here to get on to the next position, tuck your back toe and take your front leg towards the back. Here you are ideally supposed to hold your breath, but since we are doing corrections or we are doing it slowly, you can maintain your natural breath. Now here, make sure that you're not going too far high or not too low towards the ground. Just try to maintain a line here. And then exhale and drop your knees and your chest in between your palms and your forehead on the ground. You can also keep your chin on the ground. Remember that your elbows are not flaring out, they should be inwards. And you exhale as much air as you can in this position. Your hips are reaching up towards the sky. Now you inhale and slide forward and your head and chest up and you look up. Here make sure that you're not stacking your shoulders like this. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, your elbows a little bent. You can also be just here and you don't have to lift yourself higher. This is just as fine. Now for the next position, you tuck your toe, lift yourself higher up and inverted V. And you do this while you exhale. While learning Surya Namaskar, you don't have to pay too much attention to your breath. Just make sure that your postures are correct and you can gradually get into the ideal rhythm. If you're unable to touch your heels to the ground in inverted V, it's just as fine. Just try to keep your hips towards the sky and try to straighten your back as much as possible by sucking your belly in. You can also micro bend your knees if required. Now inhale and bring your right leg in between your palms here and then drop your back knee and point your toe and look up. Again, try to keep your knee just above your ankle. But let's say you're not able to bring your leg in between your palms and you just reach here, then you use your hand to lift your leg and bring it in between your palms. Now let's say that you are unable to lift your hand and it's making you off balance. Then you simply just reach wherever you can and then walk your feet to the point where you reach in between your palms and then drop your knee and point your toe and then look up. From here you tuck your back toe, exhale and bring the other leg in between your palms and drop your head towards your knees. Again, you can bend your knees if required. And now if you're unable to touch the ground, just your fingertips, that's just as fine. Now from this position, you inhale and lift yourself all the way forward and up, again in the same position, imagining that somebody is pulling you forward and then up. Then you reach towards the sky, and if you're unable to arch back, you just stay there, and if you can arch back, just arch back, bringing your hips towards the front, and then you exhale and drop your hands down in prayer position. Now you just simply repeat the same thing on the other side. To complete your one round of Surya Namaskar, you can start with 3 and then gradually move to 4, 6, 8,